And welcome back to an exciting broadcast for Newton Sluggin Rebels baseball. I'm your host, Jared Oberlechner, and to my right is a new announcer, as Carv is kind of taken down to being a GM again, and he can finally run around the place and do different things and everything. But to my right is Scott Hogan, and Scott, you want to tell people kind of about yourself?
Been in the business for about 16 years. Worked anything from high school to the professional level. Currently finishing up the Wichita Wizards basketball league there in Wichita right now, and excited to be back in the summer leagues. I've done the McPherson Pipeliners last several years. That didn't work out for this summer, and hooked up with Carv at Region 6 championships there at X Stadium, and they invited me on, and glad to be here.
Yep, and it's exciting for me because, I've had half of your experience, and once Carr said, "Hey, there's a new announcer that wants to be with you," I'm like, "Cool," because it's nice having someone who knows, anything that has to do with broadcasting, and who's actually an announcer, so I can learn off that, and if I'm struggling, you can help me with that, and it's great. It's great to have Scott here, and obviously I miss Carv. Carv gave great analysis.
We'll get him on.
Like that. But Carv will occasionally pop in, and we'll throw him on the headset, and we'll talk about what's going on, and I think this was when talking to Carv, I was like, this would be great for you, for Carv, because he would have to constantly pop out of broadcasts and do GM stuff, and he doesn't have to worry about that. You can run around, talk with the fans here, and it's a great exchange.
He can be a GM, and he's also got to put the coaching hat back on. If people don't know, Carv's the new Southwestern Mound Builder coach, so he's hitting the recruiting trail some this summer. So there might be times where he's not here, so this will free him up, and we're excited to see the Rebels back at home. Rained out last night. Questionable whether we could have played last night or not, field conditions, but I guess better safe than sorry. Don't want to tear the field up and then have additional.
And then a game the next day after you tore up the field, yeah.
Yeah, so I think a good move, and we'll bring you up to date when we get that game, when that will be rescheduled. But they didn't get to finish the series with the Batcats, dropped the first two games of those series, so looking to rebound tonight against the Islanders. Official records, Newton 3-4, 1-4 in league play, a couple of non-conference, non-league wins. The Islanders are 1-7 overall. That one win, unfortunately for the Islanders, was non-conference. That they are looking to come in and pick up their first win here on what's turning out to be a beautiful evening here in Newton.
Yep, and with that, we're going to talk about the Newton Sluggin Rebels Summer Baseball Camp. That's going to be held not tomorrow, the 17th. Here at Klein Scott Field, and if you have a kid, K through 12, boys and girls, if you want to learn about baseball, just play some baseball and learn about it, you can always come down here. And if you go to Newton Sluggin Rebels Facebook, they have a post here with a link that you can sign up. It's $25 for pre-register, and then on the camp day, it's going to cost $40. But check-ins are from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., with the camp running from 9 a.m. to around noon. And during this time, your child will receive expert instruction on all aspects of the game, from hitting, fielding, and even to pitching. And you also get a T-shirt as well, a free T-shirt for coming. And so with that, we'll have the national anthem. So we're going to mute real quick, take a quick little break, but we'll come back with starting lineups and talk about our sponsors. And welcome back to the broadcast as Scott has all the information for the starting lineups for the home and away team. So I'll let Scott take over right there.
Well, let's start with the hurler for the Newton Rebels tonight. Alex Gillig's going to make his third appearance of the season. He's thrown 3 innings, no ERA, so he's given up 6 runs, but that tells you there was some errors involved in those runs, a couple of strikeouts, a couple of walks, and of course we'll see him probably go couple 3. We see a lot of pitchers used in the summer leagues to keep innings pitched down in the summer, so he is beginning his warm-up tosses as you see out on the mound, and we'll look at the Islander batting lineup. The center fielder Bradley Neal will lead off. Batting second is the shortstop Ben Wallachek. The third baseman Gavin Roy bats third, and the cleanup hitter will be your designated hitter Blake Russell. Batting fifth is the second baseman Jesus Cruz. Behind the plate in batting sixth, Monray Vanderwalt. The right fielder Aiden Malish bats seventh. Batting eighth is Logan Irway. He's at first base. And rounding out the batting lineup out in left field, very familiar name to me doing high school sports around here, Nolan Friend, a Kingman native just graduating, is going to play left field and bat ninth. And then Miles Chamberlain will be on the hill in the bottom half of the inning for the Islanders, as we will have some numbers. I don't know this includes all the games. Sometimes point streak a little slow to update, as Bradley Neal will lead off playing we've got him a couple of games played, and so far 2 for 3 at the plate with 1 double. Has drawn a couple of walks, and first pitch he'll take up for ball 1.
Excited to see what Alex Gillig does here. Obviously brothers with Zach Gillig, who put up an amazing performance just the other day against the Cannons. So we'll see if the Gillig twin can represent that, or repeat that.
Absolutely. Second pitch misses. 2-0 to Bradley Neal. Getting a beautiful evening here in Newton. Getting some high overcast skies to cover up that warm sun today. It was good movement back over the plate, but missing high. It's 3-0 to Bradley Neal. Again, in limited action, he has drawn a couple of walks, so he'll take one here. And he'll draw a 4-pitch walk to start the ball game.
Just not a great start right now, but first at bat, get the arm loose, and we'll see what he does here.
Just didn't look comfortable in that first batter at the plate. See if he can settle in here against Ben Wallachek, the shortstop. Wallachek has played in 7 games. He's been busy. He is actually 6 for 24 at the plate. There's a good fastball movement back into Wallachek for strike 1.
Great pitch right there. Way to just attack it. Get that inside pitch firmly located.
Wallachek does have a homer. He's walked 5 times and has driven in 5. 1 strike pitch will be off the plate for ball 1. Rebels tonight in their black jerseys, white pants, red caps. And you see the Islanders got the powder blues with multicolor. You got red and yellow stripes on the sleeves and across the front of the jersey. And good velocity, but out and away from Wallachek for ball 2. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. And I think a pretty good early little trip to the mound. As Gillig just doesn't look comfortable, overthrowing maybe just a little bit. Sometimes you see just a little bit too much juice to start the game. You got to kind of settle him down. Our first inning sponsored tonight is being brought to you by CRM Lawn Care here in Newton. They mow, weed eat, and edge your lawn to perfection. Call CRM Lawn Care today at 316-282-2666.
Got a great crowd out here, and You got Little League right behind us, taking photos. And
There's all
everything.
sorts of games going on out here in Centennial Park. Probably 4 other games going on. So after the conference, that one is down to Wallachek. It's 3-1. Neal at first, the leadoff walk. Has the sliding mid on there, but just a modest lead. And there kind of went back to the off speed and found the zone for strike 2. Looked like maybe Gillig went to the slider there on 3-1. I think Wallachek looking fastball. A big payoff pitch is going to be down and away for ball 4. And back-to-back walks from Gillig to start the ball game.
It just seems like he's losing control right at the very end. We obviously could tell that pitch kind of got away from him last second and kind of yanked right outside, and just not a good start so far.
Yeah, he's using just the stretch. That's not uncommon. A lot of pitchers, even starters, will not utilize a windup. And it brings up the third baseman, Gavin Roy. And another good pitch. That one just down and away, ball 1. Roy in 3 games played, 2 for 9 at the plate. Has driven in a couple. Has an opportunity here in the top half of the first. That one just caromed off the glove of Haynes, and that will move the runners up without sacrificing an out on what would probably be scored a pass ball. Also goes down as ball 2, so the Sluggin Rebels in a bit of a jam here. Top half of the first, second, and third, nobody down. Two-0 pitch hit in the hole at short. It is going to get past the glove of Albert. I thought he might get a glove on it, and it just trickled under there for the RBI single for Gavin Roy to make it 1-0 Islanders. Wallachek had to make sure it got through, so he held up at third base. And now it'll be the DH, Blake Russell. Russell in 5 games played, 4 of 12 at the plate. And breaking pitch with the runner moving on a perfect pitch. It was down and away and in the dirt. There won't be a throw. It got away just far enough from Haynes for Roy to get down to second.
I don't know if it's going to be the pitches or what, but Haynes is not looking, like he was the other day. He was pitches. That's going to be a low ball. He was getting. He grabbed the ball before he grabbed the ball. He would start moving towards the dugout with Zach Gillig on the bump. He just knew it was going to be a strike. And right now, you could blame both at this point, and just pitches are not getting right by him. It's just not working out.
2-0 again. He's got good movement. That one does hit the zone right at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike. And it's not uncommon to see that. I mean, you got kids from all over, sometimes the country. You get together, you get about a week of practice, you start playing games. So that chemistry, especially between pitchers and catchers, that's going to take a little bit. A little high chopper down the third. Now Felix looks the runner back, will throw to first. And that's a great play by Felix at third to get the out and keep the runner from scoring. So score at 5-3 for a big out, number 1.
But yeah, like you said, chemistry, I know that's always going to be an issue, especially, you just come in, work with whoever you work with, but
that takes sometimes months to develop. You obviously don't have that here in the summer leagues, but now the first lefty of the ball game, the second baseman, Jesus Cruz, steps in and will take strike 1. Cruz so far 0 for 7 at the plate. Does have 3 RBIs, so he has done some damage. As he'll ground one right side, that'll get a run home. Lopez over to first, and then the ball is dropped by Bryant, and another run will score to make it 3-0 Islanders.
Oh, no.
And, boy, that was just Bryant just taking his eyes off of it. Should have been a pretty routine 4-3. Instead, it'll go down as the first error of the ball game.
And that's just an error where you're just thinking too far ahead. I've seen that with fielders where they read a ground ball because they're already thinking about picking it up and throwing it first. And that one, he was trying to go to pick it up and send it back home. But you got to catch it first.
Yeah. And now as Monray Vanderwalt, the catcher, he takes a breaking pitch low for ball 1. And right now you just need outs. It's just the first inning. We got a long way to go. Runner got a great jump. This one is fouled back and out of play. And it's 1-1. Wallachek, who's already been on base, he leads the Islanders with it. He's already got a whopping 10 stolen bases. That's a lot this early in the summer. And we'll look at Vanderwalt hitting .095, 2 for 21 so far on the young summer season. In good velocity, but missing high to Vanderwalt is Gillig. 2 balls, 1 strike. Actually lost his hat there. He's putting enough oomph into that pitch.
He's lost his hat about 3 times I've already seen.
And I have to get him a smaller sized hat, I think.
There's some pitchers that, they like having that loose hat for some reason.
Breaking pitch. This could be 2. They flipped to second for 1. And this time a great dig at first by Bryant. So that was Alvar de Lopez to Bryant, 6-4 to 3 double play. And that does retire the side. But the Islanders, a big first inning, they get 3 runs on a hit, an error. And there was nobody left. So we're going to the home half of the first with the Islanders up 3-0. We got a great double play sponsor as well.
Yeah, that amazing double play was sponsored by Arma Coatings of Wichita and corporate. We make your buildings better. And with that, we'll head to the bottom of the first as the Sluggin Rebels are already down 3-0. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. And welcome back to the bottom of the first inning as the Sluggin Rebels look to bounce back after giving up 3 runs on, 2 walks. Wasn't the best inning as we also had that error that brought in 2 of the runs.
Free passes and errors, you give teams extra outs, they're going to make you pay, and they did there in the first. But now the Rebels, they'll face Miles Chamberlain on the mound for the Islanders. In his 1 outing, he went 5 innings, 4 runs, 2 were earned. He struck out 6 and walked 2. As we'll go through the batting lineup kind of on the fly, as Titan Gable, the center fielder, will lead off. Great summer so far, 6 of 14 at the plate. He'll take inside for ball 1. He's got a double, a triple, a homer, and he's driven in a couple of batters. And you always love a lefty in the leadoff spot. Get out of the box a little bit faster as he'll take outside ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. He'll be followed by the second baseman, Jordy Lopez, and batting third is the left fielder, Cole Mears. Yeah, close pitch, and boy, pretty tight zone here established early on by the home plate umpire, and Gable a 3-0 count. Chamberlain is going to issue a 4-pitch walk to start the game here in the home half of the first. And just what you like out of your leadoff batter. You don't matter how it gets on base, just get on base, and Gable accomplishes that to bring up Jordy Lopez as we go back-to-back lefties here for the Sluggin Rebels. Lopez so far 3 for 18.
What I've seen so far from Jordy is he's going to be probably one of my favorite players on the field and in the plate.
And I kind of wondered, you don't see a ton of sacrifices in the summer. You want these kids to swing away, but that was what Lopez was showing, was the bunt. He took high. You see Roy on the grass down at third. He's ready for a sacrifice. Now he's going to swing away and takes the first strike from Miles Chamberlain. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
When you talked about sacrifices, me and Carved always, that was our biggest pet peeve is, you know, if you're in that situation where you need to, you know, sacrifice, you know, even if it's a summer league and it may not be that important, but it helps you become a team player, per se. You know, you get to play for the team. You don't hit for individual stats. You hit for the team. And those are the kind of players I like.
And it goes a lot to your head coach's philosophy for the summer. I've seen some teams, they never bunt. Yep. I mean, they swing away every at bat, and Lopez, a good hitter's count here, 2-1, is going to chop one foul down the first baseline. It's 2-2. And it looks like you kind of get the feeling Dennis Toy is a little more old school, and he needs a bunt. He's going to expect his kids here in the summer to put down a bunt. But it looks like now Lopez, that'll be off with a 2-2 count. Chamberlain deals and misses high. So if you were thinking about, it's hard when you're down 3-0 early, this would be a good pitch to start Gable on if you were wanting him to run. He doesn't have a stolen base and has been caught stealing once.
This would be a great time.
Chamberlain, a big breath, payoff pitch. This one hit high in the air to deep right field. Malish turns, and it really held up. Looked like he was going to carry better and didn't.
Wynn kind of took that one, it seemed like.
Malish makes the catch out number 1. It'll bring up Cole Mears, the left fielder.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's with the field's elevation, but we didn't see too many home runs last year either. There was a lot of those. Could it? No, and then it's caught, you know, middle of the field. And
you know, in the left field, south wind will typically blow out to the 330 mark. So we will see. The wind is blowing out tonight. So Mears steps in. He'll check his swing and take strike 1 from Chamberlain. So far on the young season, we'll find Mears in here. 1 for 8. Has drawn a couple of walks and has driven in 1. Oh, and that was a nice hard slider there from Chamberlain. Strike 2.
Haven't seen much of Mears. He did not play in our last broadcast, so don't have anything on him.
On point streak, this would be his 3rd game. If they hadn't all synced this morning, I'm not sure if these are all in there. The runner moving. Good throw down from Vanderwalt, but under the tag with the stolen base was Gable. He's running on an 0-2 pitch. It's kind of hard to ask your batter to not swing, which Mears would have had to, but you could tell that breaking pitch was definitely going to be up out of the zone. So the Sluggin Rebels, their first runner into scoring position, trailing 3-0, bottom half of the first. 1-2 pitch. Boy, that was a great slider again, just missing outside.
Great 1-2 pitch right there.
That was.
Trying to get him frozen on that one. He kind of did. He had him thinking a little bit.
Now Chamberlain, he's not really sidearm, but not over the top. And pitchers that come down at that angle have great sliders typically, great movement. And he tried an off speed and misses down and away, and the count full on Cole Mears. The cleanup hitter is the catcher Jackson Haynes. The DH, Benji Cazares, will bat fifth, and batting sixth is the third baseman Dominique Felix. Another big pitch here for Chamberlain. That payoff pitch jammed him. This one hit high and deep to left. Friend goes back, looks up, and watches this one clear the fence. And the Sluggin Rebels are back within one. The first dinger of the season for Cole Mears. He turned on a full count pitch and launched it out of here. And the Sluggin Rebels are right back in this thing.
Is that I'm just thinking the commentator curse. I said, don't expect too many home runs, and
well,
get a home run
the
right
reverse
there.
Jinx there,
yeah,
at least.
It helped us out, as that terrific home run was sponsored by John Oldham and family. They're proud friends of the Newton Sluggin Rebels baseball. Wow.
And now it's
What
3-2.
What a great
way.
karma, yeah.
And now it's the catcher, Jackson Haynes, takes an off-speed breaking pitch there, strike one.
That was a crushed ball.
It was. That was kind of a no-doubter. 2 for 11 is Jackson Haynes so far this season. And back-to-back. Look like sliders again for strikes 1 and 2 to Jackson Haynes. I said the wind is blowing out. It's 3:30 out there to both lines here at Klein Scott Field in Centennial Park. And they're going to set up an outside target here, go fastball, and a good 0-2 pitch misses outside. Catchers will usually tip it off right at the last minute, especially on an 0-2 pitch.
Yeah, but once Chamberlain starts getting that outside strike zone established, it's going to be a deadly 0-2 count pitch right there. So he tries it again.
Boy, he tried the slider that time, and again, just outside. 2-2. And again, for people maybe tuning in for just the first or second time, this is a wooden bat league, too. I love that in the summer. You're not going to hear the usual with these collegiate players, the clink of the bat. It's wooden bat, so that gives you an idea how much of that one Mears got. Oh, pulled the trigger there. Pretty pitch, strike 3.
Great pitch right there from Chamberlain.
Tell you what, he looked like that was going to come well inside, and it just dove in. That was a pretty pitch for out number 2.
Great slow cut right there.
So with the bases empty, 2 down, it'll be the DH, Benji Cazares.
Cazares is very fun to watch during the first broadcast. He seemed like he did about everything.
And he is a 2 for 15 so far this season. We'll get you the bottom third of the batting lineup here in a moment. And a swing and a miss for strike 1. The 7-hitter will be your first baseman, Easton Bryant. Hunter Alvord, the shortstop, bats 8th, and rounding out the batting lineup is your first baseman, Will Franklin. 1 strike pitch from Chamberlain. That's that same pitch he got the strikeout on. That is a wicked pitch. He's got that slider, and it almost what they call a slurve.
Yeah.
That's probably right there more of a true, it might be almost a changeup there. And that was a good 3-pitch. Gets back-to-back strikeouts with the swing and a miss for his second. But the 2-run homer from Cole Mears gets the Sluggin Rebels back in this thing heading to the second. And it's 3-2 Kingman after 1.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Top half of the second inning, 3-2. Kingman leading the Newton Sluggin Rebels, as we will have the bottom third of the lineup coming up. Aiden Malish, Logan Irway, and a Nolan Friend. See if I can get back. Was tardy on getting my stats switched back over to the Islander batting stats. We'll get to those here shortly. And see if Alex Gilligan, one pitch and one hit, was setting on that fastball. Malish belts it into center field for the base hit.
Great start right there for the Islanders.
And the leadoff man aboard immediately. The lefty Malish belts one to center, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Logan Irway. Irway 0 for 5 at the plate. Back-to-back lefties here. And Gillig, fastball. Again, he's got great movement. To lefties, that fastball is going to tail away from. He gets it to go into the righties. And a pretty decent lead for Malish at first. Fastball misses inside. It's 1-1. You look down at Malish. This is pretty interesting as he's leading. He's looking at the plate. He's doing almost like a false start signal. If you see it in football, it apparently is signaling something as the 1-1 fouled out of play by Irway.
Yeah, I looked at that. I was like, is he doing like the wrapping bandages, or I don't know what that signal is going to be.
It's only known to the team. Malish without a stolen base so far.
Maybe she's just trying to get in his groove. Maybe that's what it is. 1-2.
Gillig, a pitch, good fastball, swing and a miss, and Alex Gillig will record his first strikeout and the first out of the top half of the second. It'll bring up a familiar face to me, Nolan Friend, the left fielder out of Kingman High School. We'll look in on Nolan Friend's numbers here after the first pitch. It's just taken high for a ball one. Friend so far 5 out of 16. Let's have a run batted in. There's a runner on first, one down. Gillig kind of went off speed there. That one, Friend couldn't wait long enough on it. Will foul it out of play. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Really very pleasant evening. We've had such great June weather. Probably right now about 80 degrees. Wind blowing out to left. 1-1 pitch, runner moving way high. And Haynes wasn't able to bring it down for a throw.
It was a great high pitch to try and get the stolen runner, but it was a little too high, though. We had to do a full extension right there. Kind of lost the ball on that one.
And the location was good because you could have made the exchange and the throw immediately, but he had to go up so high to get it. Couldn't bring it down cleanly. Now 2-1. That was trying to go, I think, off speed again and misses way up and in.
Last 2 pitches, ball has just gotten away from Gillig.
Still hasn't quite found that rhythm yet. Struggled in the first inning, walked a couple of batters, did record his first strikeout here in this inning. Needs a big pitch here. It's 3-1. And again, kind of held on to it a little bit too long, and it bounced at the plate for ball 4.
And the worst thing about baseball is when you start getting your rhythm, by that time you're already getting pulled.
Yeah, especially, again, they monitor the pitch counts very closely here. A long start in the summer leagues is typically maybe 5 innings or thereabouts.
Yep.
So we're back to the top of the lineup to Bradley Neal, who walked and scored in the first inning. There's that fastball in there, strike 1. First and second, one down. It's a 3-2 ball game. Islanders lead it by 1. And then got him to chase the breaking pitch, which ended up down in the dirt for strike 2.
If he can strike him out, this would be a great, great strikeout to get with one runner in scoring position.
We love another bouncing ball. That's how they got out of the first inning, a 6-4-3 double play. Two-strike pitch, off-speed, popped up on the right side of the infield. That's the infield fly rule as Bryant makes the catch for out number 2.
The shortstop, number 27, Ben.
Nice pitch there, and at bat for Alex Gillig. So with the runners at first and second and 2 away, it's Ben Wallachek who walked in, scored a run in the first inning. First 3 batters, Neal, Wallachek, and Roy, all scoring in that 3-run first inning. And a little chopper, that's going to go foul down the third baseline. But it'd be a big lift here for Alex Gillig if he could get out of this, no runs, get back to the plate. Maybe kind of settle in and extend this start for the Rebels.
Yep, and if I'm Gillig here, I'm not going to toy around. I'm going to go straight at him. 0-2 count. I'm going to throw a strike.
One strike pitch and a nice block again by Haynes, missing down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ben Wallachek. Wallachek, young man, going to Pratt Community College. Sophomore out of Wichita, Kansas. A little up in the eyes there with the fastball. Wallachek, if he didn't shave closely this morning, he nearly got one right there. So it counts 2-1. Again, I think kind of what you mentioned, it does look like Gillig wants to go right at him. 2-1 pitch. And that's going to advance the runners right off of the catcher's gear. And now a 3-1 count. Gavin Roy in the on-deck circle had an RBI single in the first inning. You'd love to have him leading off the third and not get a chance here in this inning.
That's what I was saying. That last at bat was a great out because, if something like this happens and it's a pop-up, that's a guaranteed run. But right now it's 2-out count. And now if it's pop fly, you don't have to worry about a tag up or anything like that.
3-1, and the bases will be loaded. Breaking pitch down and away. 4th walk overall, 2nd in the inning for Alex Gillig. And now it'll be Gavin Roy, as we already mentioned, had the big first inning RBI single. Roy going to Cloud County Community College.
Nice pitch.
And that's that fastball, that tail right back over the plate for strike 1. Right now, that's his best pitch. Gillig has struggled, especially with the breaking pitch, spotting it. He's got to keep throwing it, and you can't just give a steady diet. These kids will get on that fastball. There he went, and another good block by Haynes. One bounce that looked like maybe right behind the plate. Makes the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Bases loaded, 2 away in the top half of the second. One. Fastball stayed down. So a 2-1 count. Gillig, there you see a big deep breath. Fastball again missing low, and there's nowhere to put Gavin Roy. And it's 3-1.
That's 3 straight misses on that low ball. See if Gillig throws anything else different right here. He might stick to it.
He's about got to come back fastball here unless he's got the confidence. And he did. He went back, and I think that was a hard slider, it looked like. Took a little bit off of it and got strike 2. And now you'll see the Chinese fire drill. Bases loaded, 2 down, and a full count pitch. Everybody going to be moving.
Yep, big leads.
Runners take off. Payoff is up and in, ball 4. It's 4-2 Islanders. And Gillig, his 5th walk, and that'll be an RBI walk for Gavin Roy, so he's actually driven in 2 now. And the bases remain loaded for the DH Blake Russell after a trip to the mound for a little conversation. See if Alex Gillig will stay on. We do have a second inning sponsor being sponsored tonight by Arma Coatings of Wichita Incorporated, local leaders in industrial and commercial spray foam insulation, spray foam roofing, and air barrier projects. Arma makes buildings better. Visit ArmaCoatingsWichita.com, or you can call 316-755-9100 today. And let's see, it looks like we are going to have a pitching change as well. It's going to be Antonio Avila. Avila.
Yes. Avila was playing right field last broadcast. So we'll see how he does on the mound here. And that's what you'll see a lot with summer leagues and collegiate leagues. You'll have these
multiple position
position players, and you know, wasn't a uncommon sight to see in this league. But I wouldn't. This seems like a pretty early poll for Gillig.
Yeah, it was just couldn't find the strike zone tonight. The 5 walks, and I think trying to keep this thing close early on. Coach Toya makes the pitching change tonight, which the call to the bullpen and pitching change being sponsored by Pizza Hut of Newton. No one out pizzas the Hut.
And going back to that Gillig walk, I don't blame Gillig for that one. That was a great inside pitch right there, trying to freeze him up, but just couldn't get the call right there. It was a great pitch. But
I will have to say I was hoping it'd be called strike 3, but I think it was ball 4. It was a little up, maybe even in off of the plate.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't knock him for it. It was a great try. Because I mean, if he threw fastball, he was going to be on that. And but yeah, just I guess head coach was just ready to call it right there. But what was that? 42 pitches for Gillig in 1.5 innings. So, I mean, it was not the best start.
So we'll see how Avila can do. He's going to face the DH Blake Russell, who bounced out to third. Became the first out of the first inning. And we're going to see a windup from Avila. And went breaking pitch well outside for ball 1. And it looks like, at least from the stats that we have, this is Avila's first appearance on the mound, at least the stats that we have to this point. And he misses low, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. And Corrales, New Mexico, playing at Pima Community College. And 3-0 as he misses outside. So Avila struggling out of the gate as well. And again, the bases loaded. 2 down here in the top half of the second.
Avila's already frustrated, which is not something you want to see, as he kind of shook his head on that one. Yep, that's another one that gets away. So another walk and another walk-in RBI.
That's 2 in a row combined for the Rebel pitching, and it's now a 5-2 ball game. And again, the bases remain loaded. 8th batter of the inning will be Jesus Cruz. He reached on an error in the first. And that's 5 straight out of the zone.
And as a batter, if your previous batter just got 4-0'd walk, don't even swing the bat.
You're going to make him throw a strike. Absolutely. And
nice
wow,
pitch. Wow,
that is a tight zone. That looked like it might catch the inside corner. It will go as ball 2. The wind and the 2-0 pitch. There's one down the middle for strike 1.
Another thing that Sluggin Rebels especially struggled with early in the season last year, and what killed us to lose a bunch of games, were these 2-out runs, and it's showing back up to again today.
Fastball misses high, 3-1 the count. Avila needs to bring in something good. Boy,
wow.
Really getting squeezed on the top part of that zone. That looked like a great pitch. It's going to go down as ball 4 and another run. That's the 3rd walked in of the inning. It makes it 6-2 Kingman. And now it is Monray Vanderwalt, the catcher. He bounced into a 6-4-3 double play, which ended the first inning. But the Islanders have plated 3 in both the first and second innings. And then the breaking pitch misses out and away for ball 1. So combined through an inning and 2/3, 7 walks issued by Sluggin Rebel pitching. Fastball right off the end of the bat. And is that a dead ball?
I think. Let's see what the play is. Oh, I think they might call a catcher interference.
Was it catcher's interference?
Yes, they're going to call a catcher's interference on that one. That's going to drive in a run.
So it apparently hit the glove of Haynes, the catcher. So that'll be interference called, and I don't know if you would score an RBI there or not. You might.
I don't think you do. I believe you don't. But
we will see as Aiden Malish, he started off this inning. First pitch he saw, he singled the center, stole a base, and scored a run. Swing and a miss. And the count 0-2. So 7 runs have come on, 2 hits. Malish has 1, and Roy has 1, both singles. And a little pop-up in the left. Myers has got a beat on it. That will retire the side. That's a big 4-run inning for the Islanders. They get those 4 runs, and they do it on 1 hit. And they'll strand 3. No errors in the inning. So right now, 7-2 Islanders as we head to the bottom half of the second inning. We did want to mention, you heard our inning sponsor, Arma Coatings of Wichita. We are still in need of inning sponsors. We have 5 innings available for sponsorship. If you have a business you would love to advertise, or maybe I've seen people, they want to recognize a charity. $100 gets you an inning sponsor for the entire season. It's a great investment. The Sluggin Rebels always have unexpected expenses that come up. It'd be a great investment. If you would be interested in doing that, you could contact our general manager, Mark Carvalho. We'll give you his cell phone number. He'd be happy to set you up. 316-640-1591. Again, or if you just want to sponsor an inning, you don't have a business, charity, you just want to help out the Sluggin Rebels,
yep.
Hey, that would be great. We definitely in need. And again, this is not just a game, this is season long. That is your inning.
And with that, we'll head to the bottom of the second. Your score is 7-2 in favor of the Islanders. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the bottom of the second, as your score is still 7-2.
And Dominic Felix, the third baseman, will lead off and take strike one from Miles Chamberlain. We had a couple of strikeouts and one walk, gave up that 2-run homer in the first.
See the Rebels bounce back, because that's a nice hit right over the shortstop for Felix. But yeah, we'll see. Let's see if it's a great start for the Rebels so far. As like I said during the break, we gave a grand slam and walks last inning. So, but yeah, that was a great start right there for Felix.
It was interesting. He went after an outside pitch, got enough of it to get it by Wallachek out at shortstop for the second hit of the ball game for the Rebels. So actually the hits are now tied at 2. And it brings to the plate Easton Bryant, the first baseman. That's a little chopper and fielded in foul territory by Vanderwalt for strike one. And we'll take a look. Easton Bryant so far 1 of 9 on the season. Again, we can't guarantee that all of the games have synced here. It looks like 5 of the 7 total games have synced, so these stats just a little behind where the season is. They will catch up as we move along. Hunter Alvord, the shortstop, will follow here in the inning. Has a good pitch. Fastball right on the outside corner for strike 2.
Easton Bryant's our last broadcast, he was the first player to one of the first 2 players to get a triple, and that was a very crucial triple during that game.
And the 2-strike pitch, breaking
Wow.
pitch. And we'll call it ball 1. I do not know where it missed. I was waiting for the 3rd strikeout call of the game there for Chamberlain. He pulled the string on that curveball, didn't he? Wow. Again, I love those pitchers that come down just a little bit from over the top. They get great movement. And there's that tailing away fastball.
There's a tip fastball right there. That's on.
Chamberlain's got his 3rd strikeout, first out here in the home half of the second, bringing up the shortstop, Hunter Alvord. 3 for 10. As a run batted in, has walked 4 times. Again, I got to watch this young man a lot this season. Did a lot of McPherson bullpup baseball. He was a big part of the back-to-back state champions for McPherson, as he'll take, again, a breaking pitch for strike 1. And he's a very good pitcher as well.
Especially for Albert, he's committed to Cali College baseball, and if you don't know anything about Cali, they have a great baseball program down there with the Burroughs twins.
And we got to throw over to first. Keep an eye on Dominic Felix. He led off the inning with a single. Yeah, Cowley, Johnson got him this year in the championship. It went the distance, but Cowley certainly do not look past them here. They will rebound very quickly. Albert checked it up, and they're going to say he went around. That'll be strike 2. It's always the toughest appeal with a man on and a 2-man crew. You've got your umpire looking straight in. I wonder how can you tell if that broke the plane or not. He's got to use his best judgment, and it looked like he may have.
It looked like it, yeah.
Yeah.
That was almost a full
I hated
swing.
that appeal when I was a field umpire out there. And the 2-strike pulled the string there and apparently stayed up a little bit. It's 1-2. It's been a tight strike zone, I will say that.
Yep, and if I'm the Rebels, any player right now, I'm noticing 0-2, 1-2 counts. He's going to that slider. So, unless he's hit you with the fastball, that 1-2, I'm sitting slider.
He went fastball and missed up and in. It's 2-2. Again, I think he's really pulling the string hard on that one. He's also got I almost call it a slurve. He's got great movement. It starts almost like he's going
right at the end.
Yeah, and it's almost like he's going to hit the guy, and then it will tail out over the plate. And the 2-2 to Hunter Alvord. He takes it up for ball 3. So after being down in the count 0-2, Alvarez worked it full. He'll be followed by the right fielder, Will Franklin. Just a decent lead at first. Runner holds, and Alvarez will take low, ball 4.
Great at bat.
One thing from watching Hunter Alvarez this year, he will work a count and do just that.
And those are the players that Carve loves and the Sluggin Rebels team loves.
Hey, what was Moneyball all about, the movie and the Oakland A's? You get on base. It doesn't matter if it's a walk, it's a single, a hit by a pitch. Get on base, that's how you score runs. And it'll bring up Will Franklin. Franklin in search of his first hit. He's 0 for 9 at the plate. Young man out of Amarillo, Texas. He'll take high for ball 1. Going to Amarillo College. He'll be a freshman this year. Several of the Rebels are incoming freshmen to their schools of choice. They're probably one of the younger teams here in the Jayhawk.
Yep, the Rebels really only have 2 returners, and it's the Gillick twins. They've been here Zach has been here for 5+ years now. Now he's become the pitching coach, and Alex, I think, came in either last year or the year before. So we'll see if any of these new guys want to return next year, hopefully.
Hopefully so, as that last fastball just caught the outside corner. The 1-1 pitch. And went back to the breaking pitch. Gets the outside corner call again. It's 1-2.
It's kind of opened up the outside range a little bit. So
he has varied it a little bit here.
We'll see what he does here on a 1-2.
1 down, runners at first and second. Rebels trying to chip away at a 7-2 deficit. Gave him the fastball, and Franklin just behind it fouls it back and out of play.
That monstrous foul ball was sponsored by Central National Bank of Newton. Money for life, member of FDIC.
Got lots of sponsors. We'll give a rundown of all of those a couple of times throughout the broadcast. Went fouled right off the catcher's mask. And the count will stay at 1-2. It's the top of the lineup, and Titan Gable will follow Franklin. Runners lead away from second and first. Felix at second. Hunter Alvarez at first. And came inside, a swing and a miss. Actually, they're going to say it was foul tipped. That will be strikeout number 4 for Miles Chamberlain. And a big out number 2 here in the home half of the second. And back to the top to Titan Gable. He walked and scored a run in the first inning. He was out there when Myers homered. And then went back to the breaking pitch for strike 1. Chamberlain really mixing up his pitches nicely. And keeping the Rebel hitters so far a little off balance. One strike pitch, grounded and knocked down by Irway. Flips to him, covering, and they're going to get him. Chamberlain foot got down just before Titan Gable got there, so 3-1 on the putout. Will end the inning, so no runs on a hit. And 2 left. So after 2 complete, it's Kingman 7, Newton 2 here at Klein Scott Field in Newton.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
And leading off the top of the third, a swing and a miss from Jordy Lopez. Or excuse me, let me get back on the right side. Logan Irway, the first baseman for the Kingman Islanders, as they lead the Newton Sluggin Rebels 7-2. And that was a nice off-speed pitch from Antonio Avila. Make the count 1-1 strike. Irway, one at bat came in the second inning, and he went down on strikes. I guess actually, my apologies. The board showed 1-1. It was actually 0-2, and a good fastball paints the outside corner for the strikeout. And a big out number 1, and it'll bring up to the plate the left fielder Nolan Friend.
That strikeout was sponsored by Mark Fox, your local JP Weingate realtor. Focus on bringing you home.
And Friend, first pitch swinging, fouls it out of play for strike 1. He walked and scored a run in that 4-run second inning. Vila then kind of jammed him, fouled back for strike 2. See if he can kind of stabilize the ship here for the Rebels, who have combined walked 7 batters through 2 innings. See if he can kind of have a quick inning, get the bats back to the plate. And well outside with the breaking pitch. So after Friend, it'll be back to the top of the lineup and Bradley Neal. One-two pitch from Avila. Stays out and away.
Avila's not wanting to go inside right now on a 2-strike count, it seems like. So, but, it's been a tight outside strike zone.
Took something off that. There's a high fly into right center field. Franklin, a long run will get there and make the catch for out number 2.
Back to the top of the order.
What a great way to bounce back for Avila.
That's the first inning that the leadoff man did not reach base here so far for the Islanders. So 2 up, 2 down, back to Bradley Neal, who right now is 0 for 1. Walked and scored in the first, and he popped up to the first baseman in the second. Good fastball, strike 1 from Avila. Gillig went an inning and 2/3, gave up 7 runs on 2 hits, walked 5, and struck out 1 was his final line for this evening. And that looked like maybe a changeup in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bradley Neal. Again, the last action for the Islanders was last night, losing at the Cannons 10-5, and it was a Tuesday night game, a 9-6 loss at the Batcats for the Newton Rebels. Right now the Batcats leading out of the gate early as Neal took down. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. The 2-1 delivery took something off of it again, got him out in front of it. And it's 2-2.
Going back to the Batcats, yeah, they have the best record. They're 7-1, and their 1 loss was against the Islanders, and the Islanders are 1-7.
Yeah, that's baseball for you. And a little bit low. We'll run the count full on Bradley Neal. Overall records, the Batcats and the Cannons are each 7-2. So the Cannons off to a good start as well. And the payoff pitch will be low ball 4. So the 1-2-3 inning will elude the Rebels here in the third. And we'll bring up Ben Wallachek, who has walked twice and scored twice.
8 walks so far for the Rebels combined. It's just not what you want to see, especially in the top of the third.
And any coach will tell you those will come back and bite you in the backside over a course of a full game. It's a fastball about bell tie, ball 1. Avila trying to put up a goose egg as the runner moving Throw down to second.
Oh.
Tried to slap the tag down and couldn't get it down. It was Lopez was trying to grab it. I don't think even if he got it down, he would have got the runner.
Ball was a little too high and just got right away from Lopez.
So the stolen base for Neal. He is in scoring position. And 1-1. Great backhand by Haynes. That would have been at the backstop. It was way out into the left-handed batter's box. So Avila trying to concentrate just on the batter. Don't worry about the runner at second at this point. Runner moving. This is fouled out of play right side. So Neal, and that's a familiar name. He's out of Buhler, Kansas. Right, now going to be a sophomore at Hutchinson Community College. Tremendous athlete there at Buhler High School. Avila, a check of the runner. Brings in the 2-2 and pops him up. And Avila will take it right near the first baseline for out number 3.
Great inning by Avila right there.
So a nice job, Avila. No runs, no hits, no errors, and he strands 1. So the Rebels will come back to the plate in the home half of the third, trailing the Islanders 7-2 here in Newton.
We are doing something new this season called Fan Move of the Game. That's right.
With that, we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Home half of the third. Sluggin Rebels trailing the Islanders 7-2. And the 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up for Newton: Jordy Lopez, Cole Myers, Jackson Haynes. And again, setting at 40 pitches, Miles Chamberlain in good shape right now. Still had those 2 runs on 2 hits thus far. Lopez in the first inning ended up flying out to right, shows bunt, and will take strike 1. Yes, he got Roy's attention quickly down at third base. He came charging in on the grass. Lopez rips this one. If it's fair, it's extra bases, and it is. Into the right field corner. Lopez rounding second. He's thinking 3. He's going to get in there without a throw, and a stand-up leadoff triple for Jordy Lopez. He turned on that pitch and is about 5 feet fair down that right field line.
That is the energy that you need to come back from a 7-2 deficit, and that was just a nice piece of aim right there from Jordy. And it seemed like his helmet was about to fly off rounding second, but somehow stayed on.
Second extra base hit out of the 3 hits for the Rebels. Of course, the homer by the man at the plate. 2-run homer in the first, Cole Myers. And he'll pop the first pitch back and out of play for strike 1.
So far this broadcast, that was the 3rd triple of our broadcasting year, and we yet to have a triple sponsor.
We do need a.
So
we mentioned
there's some
inning
incentive right
sponsors.
there.
There's another one we could use if you want to sponsor every triple.
Seems like it's pretty hot.
And down that time to Myers. 1 ball, 1 strike. So great start to the inning. Lopez tripling down the right field line. One pitch, and there again, pulled
Nice
the
pitch
string
right
on the
there.
breaking pitch. Yeah, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And lights have been on pretty much from the start. I mean, we got that high overcast. Slight chance of rain later tonight. And a 1-2 fouled out of play. I think the better chances of rain come Friday night into Saturday.
Yeah, it's not looking too great this week. I think this is the one day where it's supposed to be nice, and then just rest of the week it looked like it was supposed to be chance 30%, 40, 60.
Yep.
It's going to be a bunch of 50-50 shots on if these games are going to be played.
And the 1-2. And a swing and a miss there for Cole Myers. It'll be strikeout number 5. That was a good pitch. Chamberlain came up and in, kind of jammed him a little bit. And a big first out of the inning will bring up Jackson Haynes, the catcher. He went down looking back in the first. In a big ballpark, if you try to go straightaway center, it's 390 out there. Power Alley's 375.
I don't see too many center field home runs, but hopefully this is another commentator curse.
Got to go down the lines most of the time. It's good dimensions on a ballpark, especially for college. 1 strike pitch. Came inside again, jammed him, and a swing and a miss. Or strike 2. And that pitch stayed just up and in. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Following Jackson Haynes will be Benji Casares, the DH. Seven to 2 Islanders. Oh, I got him way out in front of that one for a swing and a miss. Change speeds and back-to-back strikeouts. So after the leadoff triple from Jordy Lopez, back-to-back strikeouts. And that brings to the plate Benji Casares, the DH. And again, same pitch. Got Casares way out in front of it. And that's a swing and a miss for strike 1. So trying to get out of the inning with no damage is Miles Chamberlain. And one right off the end of the bat foul for Casares down the first baseline, strike 2. Every batter here in the inning, Chamberlain has worked ahead of. He's gotten a strike on his first pitch.
Hopefully that's something the Sluggin Rebels can think about.
Setting up again for the outside target. And he came in. It's fouled out of play. Right side for... Actually, it'll stay at 2 strikes. Casares reaches. It would then be Dominique Felix. Rebels trying to chip away at a 7-2 deficit. This breaking pitch well outside. And Vanderwalt making sure keeping everything in front of him, wants to keep that runner at third. The 1-2 delivery popped up into right field. And Malish went back, now has to retreat and come in and makes the catch to retire the side. So Lopez, the leadoff triple, is left standing at third base. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. So after 3 complete, it will remain a 7-2 lead for the Kingman Islanders over your Newton Sluggin Rebels.
And welcome back to the top of the 4th. As the score is 7-2. The Sluggin Rebels have 3 hits compared to the Islanders 2. That's Gavin Roy. It's leading off for the Islanders. As that ball is crushed towards left field. If it's fair, it's gone, and it is fair. So that's going to be a 1-pitch home run for the Islanders right there. And
well, Gavin Roy has done the damage tonight. He had the RBI single in the first, walked with the bases loaded in the second, now the solo homer, so he's driven in 3 of the 8 now for Kingman.
That's back-to-back first inning, first pitch hits right there for the Islanders, as Blake Russell is now up to the plate playing DH. And if you notice, now I'm doing play-by-play, so we're going to do a little switch off. I think this is how it's going to go. I think this is a nice system. So Scott will do the first 3. I'll finish the 4 through 7, and then Scott will finish out the 8 and 9th. As that's a swing and a miss right there for strike number 1.
See if Avila can settle down after that home run. It was a good off-speed pitch there for the swing and the miss.
0-2 count. Yeah, it's kind of got to suck for Avila. First pitch you give up, it's a nuke towards left field, but seems like he's back into it as it's 2 swinging strikes for an 0-2 count. So that one's high for a ball number 1.
And the 2 homers we've seen tonight, much different. You know, the one that was hit by Cole Myers, a lot higher, carried with the wind. That one was more on a rope. It actually had that hook spin on it.
1-2. So that's going to be a pop-up towards right field, and I think it'll be out of play. Still 1-2.
Of course, it's kind of like kicking a field goal. If it bounces off the crossbar and goes through, it counts as one that you kick clear up into the stands. So however you can get it out of here.
That's a missed breaking pitch right there. 2-2 the count. Blake Russell, perfect spot for a DH before. Last broadcast, DH position was hitting 9th. So that one's fouled back towards the Cars.
You almost always here in the summer league see a DH. Most of the time the pitchers will not hit. They may on a different day, but rarely will you see them part of the batting lineup.
2-2 count for Russell. So that's a ball hit towards the shortstop, and we'll make the play. As that was a little high pitch or high throw by Alvord right there, but East of Bryant. Sorry, I'm getting trying to go back and forth. Bryant was there to make the grab and tag right there.
Great job. He had to go up pretty high and just got the swipe tag down. And that great play in the field, sponsored by Carl Hodges and family, celebrating 23 years of Rebels baseball tradition.
It's going to be a low breaking ball for ball number 1. As Jesus Cruz is up to the plate. So he swings at that one, strike number 1.
Boy, good pitch there. He took something off of that one and got Cruz out in front of it. Also got it on the inner part of the plate as well.
Still, keeping with that low pitch, as that's going to be ball number 2. Trying to get him biting on it again. 2-1 count. Now he goes back up high, but a little too high. 3-1. Hitters count for Cruz right now. 1 out. That ball's fouled back towards left field.
Cruz also, he's got one of those RBI walks. There was 3 of those in a row in that second inning. He was the 3rd of those. He also been on base reaching on the only error of the ball game that came back in the first.
This will be a lot different game, as that ball's just hit straight towards Avila, and that'll be a easy out right there for the Sluggin Rebels. 2 outs. But yeah, I was about to say, this would be a lot different baseball game if just cut back on those 2 out walks.
Even just cut them in half right now. You walked 8. If you cut those down to 4, you're probably looking more at a
4-2 game.
4-2, 5-2 game.
Yeah. That's now Vanderwalt. It's up to the plate. So he looks at ball number 1.
Ooh, they did not get the call. It was a great changeup from Avila. Just didn't get the call.
1-0 count. Vanderwalt pops that one up. Is it going to stay in the field? Seems like it won't. Went towards the fans for strike number 1.
Vanderwalt was involved in that second inning with the bases loaded with that interference call from the catcher Haynes when he swung, hit the mitt, and they ruled interference, bases loaded. They got a run out of that deal.
That would have ended the inning, but it cost them another run, and just tough to see. So that's going to be a low breaking ball. Ball number 2. Avila has been doing a pretty decent job so far.
He surrendered just the 1 run so far since coming in to get that final out of that second inning. It's really just made the one mistake. That was earlier here in this inning to Gavin Roy.
3-1 count turns into a walk. That'll be a walk for Avila right there.
That'll be the 4th he has issued so far.
As Ada Malish, I think I'm saying that right, am I?
Malish.
Malish.
Yeah.
There we go. Ada Malish is up to the plate as that ball gets away from Haynes right there, and that'll be easy advance for Vanderwalt.
Looked like the pitcher and catcher are different pages there because that was right.
Just nicked off his glove right there.
Like he was expecting a different pitch, just didn't get the mid over. And boy, those are costly moves. A runner into scoring position, especially with 2 outs here in the inning. Malish actually began and ended the second inning. He led off that second inning, singled and scored, then he flew out to right to end that long second inning.
Malish looked at high strike number 1. Count 1-1. Runner in scoring position. He swings and misses on that one. Great pitch by Avila right there. 1-2.
It's like he went back to that changeup again. He's been getting the Islanders way out in front of that pitch. Seems to be kind of his best pitch right now.
So that's a foul back. Count's still the same.
He chose to come back fastball there on 1-2. Trying to keep Malish guessing a little bit here, and you can do that up in the count. I think that's where the Rebels have struggled. They've been down to the hitters a lot tonight with the walks, and you got to bring in that pitch over the plate when you get behind in the count.
1-2, another foul back.
And went right back again to the changeup, and Malish, it was a good job to stay back and just foul it off so he could see a better pitch.
Let's see what Malish does here. 1-2. Avila gets him with that nice off speed to end the inning, and that's going to be another strikeout for Avila.
It will be his second.
As that strikeout was sponsored by Mark Fox, your local JP Weingate realtor, focused on bringing you home. And with that, there'll be the end of the top of the fourth inning, and we'll be heading towards the bottom of the fourth. And with that, we'll take a quick break as your score is still 8-2. Or not, it's not still. We had
solo homer from Gavin Roy.
Yeah, the score is extended to 8-2 in favor of the Islanders. And with that, we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. And welcome back to the bottom of the fourth inning, as I do believe Chamberlain's still out there. Chamberlain right now at a 54 pitch count.
He's in great shape right now, just 54 pitches thrown through 3 innings. I'm guessing that they'll ride with him, depending on how this inning goes, probably a couple more.
Yeah.
And it's a great start on the road for the Islanders if he could go at least 5 innings.
Dominic Felix is now to the plate for the Rebels. See what he can do here as slider gets away from Chamberlain right there. 1-0. But I mean, if I'm the Islanders, I'm keeping Chamberlain as long as I really can. You know, I mean that one kind of also got away from Chamberlain. 2-0.
Well, and also up 8-2, you've got a little flexibility. He can get in a little bit of trouble, and you don't have to have that quick trigger right now to get him out.
Yep. Anything to save the bullpen is a great time to just use your main pitcher. Not have to waste anything for the next games as Felix looks at strike number 1.
He's got one of the 3 hits. He led off the second inning with a single. It was that outside pitch he was able to get out and pull past the shortstop.
So that's going to be strike number 2. 2-2 count for Felix. Felix is hitting 167 on the year. Not many games played though, so take that with a grain of salt. 2-2 count. And as he looks at ball number 3, as we got a message saying, you know, we got a shout out to Pepe Allen from Arizona. So
it's Felix from Tucson, so.
As Felix strikes out right there on a swing and strike. It's going to be out number 1 for the Rebels.
That's 7 Ks for Miles Chamberlain. He's really settled in. nicely. He's made 2 mistakes, the solo homer and then the triple. Other than that, he's been pretty sharp tonight.
Yep. He's faced 15 batters. So, yeah, if I'm Chamberlain, if I'm the Islanders, I'm keeping him in. Chamberlain's looking really comfortable in there. That's a crushed ball towards Benji on right field, and Wynn's just going to keep it in.
Yeah, actually a fairly routine play there for Malish as the Wynn blowing pretty much directly out to left field, held that up. It looked a lot better off the bat than it turned out to be for, unfortunately, there for Easton Bryant.
So now we got Hunter Alford batting 8th. Hitting 300 on the season, so it's kind of strange to see him bat 8th right here as he just hits it into a routine ground ball for the shortstop there. And that's going to end the inning. That was a quick inning for the Sluggin Rebels. As we head to the top of the 5th inning, your score is still the same, 8-2 in favor of the Islanders, and things are looking a little grim.
Yeah, you never know. Long way to go. Just a 6-run deficit. Things can happen in a hurry.
We're at the halfway point, and with that, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to the top of the 5th as we have a pitching change and a catcher change. And, yeah, take it away.
Yeah, we got our pitching change. I call the bullpen pitching change. Our sponsor tonight is the Pizza Hut of Newton. No one out pizzas the Hut.
As our new pitcher is Camden Kotz. So we'll get his stats pulled up pretty soon. We also have a new catcher in Tate Lewis. So we'll see what they can bring anything, as that's going to be a swing and strike. Number 32 for the Islanders.
Boy, Irway was way out in front of that pitch.
A 1 count. My ball gets away. 1-1. But so far, Sluggin Rebels have thrown out 3 pitchers. So that's going to be another swing and strike. Irway. Oh, it's not a strikeout. That's my bad. Irway has 2 strikeouts on the night, so hopefully he's not looking for his 3rd.
Well, Kotz is a fast worker, we'll say that. He gets the sign.
He's quick.
I love those kind of pitchers.
No pitch clock here out in
None needed.
Scott Field.
Yeah.
Full count now for Irway. Looking to avoid his 3rd strikeout, and he pops that one up towards left field. Left fielder coming in and made a quick little adjustment, as that'll be the first out for Kotz.
At least what we have for Kotz, again, I don't think all the games are included, has thrown 2/3 of an inning. Allowed 3 runs. 2 of those were earned. No walks and 1 strikeout in that outing.
So he throws a fast slider away for ball number 1. Got Nolan Friend. So he swings and misses on that one, 1-1.
Caught showing a good slider there. It has some real good movement.
Nice swinging strike right there. 1-2 count. Friend, nice hit right there from Friend, right in the gap between third base and shortstop. And that'll be a hit for the Islanders. 4th hit of the night.
It was a good patient hit. He just set back on, waited on that breaking pitch, drove it into left field. His 2nd time on base, he walked and scored also in the 2nd. So Friend now 1 for 2 on the evening.
Back up to the top of the order for the Islanders with Neal. 1 out, runner on first. As Neal swings and misses at that one for strike number 1.
Neal, a couple of walks and a run scored. He so far officially would be 0 for 1. And has also popped out to first.
0-1 count. As that ball's hit towards left field, and we'll see if the left fielder can make a play on it. He cannot. As Friend's rounding second, headed to third. It's going to stop at third. That's going to be 2 quick hits for the Islanders right there. Runner on second and third now.
That was a nice job by Myers. He barehanded that out of the corner and hit the cutoff man, and that enabled the Rebels for now to keep Nolan Friend from trying to head to the plate. And sometimes those things, just not allowing that runner to advance another base can turn up huge. But again, Cott's in a bit of a jam now, second and third with 1 down.
That's going to be fouled back for strike number 1.
Interesting, Wallachek and Neal, the same line coming to the plate. Both had walked twice and popped to first. And Wallachek's also scored 2 runs.
0-1, Wallachek bounces it towards third base, and he's going to drive in a run, but I'll be out number 2.
Felix definitely making the correct choice there when he cut it off. No chance to get the runner at the plate, so make sure of the out, which he did, which is the 2nd out of the inning.
Now Gavin Roy up for the Islanders. It's a swing and a miss for Roy, so I mean, with Kotz, it's been swing and a miss his first pitches. But, you know, those are 2 big hits he gave up. So that's going to be a little 2 inside for ball number 1.
Roy just bashing the ball tonight. He's got an RBI single, a bases loaded walk, and a solo homer. So he's driven in 3 and scored 3 for the Islanders.
That's going to be a nice
slider.
Middle pitch right there for Kotz. 1-2 the count. Score is 9-2. Runner on third. That's going to be a nice strikeout right there for Kotz to end the inning.
Looks like he came back there with a off speed and maybe the change up there to get the swing and the miss to retire the side.
As that'll bring up the bottom of the 5th inning. As your score is 9-2, actually. There we go. Islanders have 5 hits. Rebels only 3 hits and 1 error. But with that, they'll bring it at the bottom of the 5th. And we'll take a quick break. And welcome back to the bottom of the 5th inning.
The right fielder, number 12, Will Franklin.
As the bottom of the order
of the 5th inning.
of these Rebels hitting lineup. It's up to the plate, so Will Franklin will lead off for the Rebels.
9-1 and 2 hitters coming up here. See if the Rebels can maybe get something going here in the home half of the 5th.
Chamberlain still on the mount for the Islanders as that one's hit for low ball 1. One out count. That'll be another slider just away. 2-0.
Franklin ended up striking out in his first at-bat, came back in the 2nd inning, 1 of 7 so far for Miles Chamberlain. He's walked just 1.
2-0 count for Franklin as he hits that one deep towards center field. Center fielder going back, and this one's going to, the center fielder, Neal thought that one was gone, and it ended up left of him.
Well, it wasn't far. It hit right at the warning track, towards the base of the wall, and that's a huge double,
Yeah.
to start the inning. And a super double sponsored by Midway Motors of Newton, your Chevrolet, GMC, and Buick dealer for every mile of life.
And for us here, you probably couldn't see it at home, but for us, Neal kind of gave up on it. He thought that was kind of gone. But being an overcast and, towards the evening time, skies are matching perfect with that white ball.
You wonder if he kept running, if he would have had a chance at that.
When he stopped running, he was at the 390 mark, and the ball ended up actually to his right as that ball is hit towards Cruz, and Cruz will make the close play as that's going to be called out, but advance the runner to third. So that's going to be a quick out.
Well, that was close. Irway just. Now they're going to. I think Newton's going to request to bring in the home plate umpire who would have the best angle to see if Irway's foot came off of the bag or not. Because he's looking right down the line, and he's going to confirm the call and say that Gable was out.
I think what might have helped him is the first base coach kind of signaled he was out off that one. So that's going to be out number 1 for the Rebels. But runner in scoring position, 1 out. Jordy Lopez is now up to the plate. Jordy's a guy you want to have when runners are in scoring position. So he's just going to chop at that one, foul it back for ball number 1.
Yeah, the Rebels 4 hits, 3 of those are extra base hits. They have just the 1 single. Lopez 1 for 2. He had that leadoff triple in the 3rd. Unfortunately for the Rebels, he ended the inning still standing at third base.
Hopefully this inning can be a little different.
Maybe he can drive that runner in from third.
That ball is outside for ball number 1. 1-1 count for Lopez. Chamberlain at 64 pitches in the bottom of the 5th. Great pace right now. So Lopez looks at a low strike. Didn't think it was a strike, but ump says differently.
And Chamberlain coming back off speed there again and found the zone, the lower part of the zone, right about knee high, maybe just slightly below. It's been for the most part a pretty tight strike zone from the get-go.
That tight strike zone's actually been helping Chamberlain a little bit. 1-2 count. That's going to hit the outside corner, or outside side of the strike zone right there. And Lopez is going to look striking out for out number 2.
Yeah, another nasty off-speed pitch settled right in on the outside corner for strikeout number 8 for Miles Chamberlain, and he's really dealing it. He's pitching well. Again, he's given up the extra base hits, but has minimized the damage pretty much.
Cole Myers up to the plate. So that's fouled back.
Well, he's got the big one.
Strike number 1.
That first inning, a 2-run homer, which at that point made it 3-2, and So since then, Newton's been 6 unanswered runs scored by the Islanders, trying to break that trend here.
7 strikeouts for Chamberlain so far. 0-1 count for Myers. So that ball's a little too high. Ball number 1. Myers has faced. He's now his 21st batter.
But still setting at 68 pitches. He's in good shape.
There's a nice breaking pitch to hit the inside corner for strike number 2. And Rebels so far have no answer to that breaking slider that Chamberlain has in stock.
He's out of Victoria, British Columbia. What a beautiful city that is. He's at Cloud County Community College.
Chamberlain usually goes 1-2 count. He went to the outside zone and missed the fastball right there. 2-2 count.
Had the privilege of being in Victoria once. It's just gorgeous right there on the coast. Oh, beautiful culture. Was there around Christmas time. Bushart Gardens are up there. Oh, man. What a great place to grow up.
Oh, you grew up there?
No. I imagine for Mr. Chamberlain here.
2-2 count, and that ball's popped up towards the gap. And the center fielder, Neal, will be right under that one. And once again, runner on third base. Couldn't get him there. And, that just kills you right there as we head to the top of the 6th. But before we do, we have our 5th inning sponsor. As this 5th inning is brought to you by Realty Connections here in Newton, connecting people with places. You can call 316-283-6607 for your South Central Kansas real estate needs. And with that, we'll take a quick break as Kotz is still on the mound for the Sluggin Rebels. And we'll be right back. And welcome back to the top of the 6th inning. As Kotz is still on the mound and Lewis is behind the plate now. And it wasn't the best start for Kotz, but he finished it out pretty well. Gave up 1 home run. And it wasn't a home run.
It was a single and a double there in the 5th.
Thinking like 3 innings back. So that's going to be outside for ball number 1. It's going to be snuck inside for strike number 1, 1-1 count. So that's going to be a swing and a miss for Russell.
Russell 0 for 2 with a second inning RBI walk this evening. That was one of 3 in a row RBI walks in that second inning.
That ball was fouled back. Still 1-2.
And the only inning the Islanders did not score so far has been the 3rd inning. Got 3 in the first, 4 in the second. Single runs in the 4th and 5th, but a good pitch there for Kotz to get his second strikeout.
So that strikeout was sponsored by Mark Fox. That's who it is. Your local JP Weingate realtor. Yes, that's going to be a Outside ball for Cruz. 1-0, 1 out. Cruz hits that one towards Bryant, and Bryant will just make the play right there. So that's going to be 2 quick outs right now for Kotz.
Well, that was a good play by Bryant. I think that hit right at the edge of the grass, and it kind of skipped along the ground, and he kind of snow-coned it to grab it. That was a tough play he made look pretty easy.
You saw the last broadcast, there was a Lopez tried to make a play towards that little line that's dividing the infield and outfield. Ball hit that line, and it went straight over Lopez's head. Couldn't make the play on that one. 0-1 count now. So that's going to nick the outside corner. So now it's going to be 0-2 for Vanderwalt. So now it's 2 outs. Tried again with the outside pitch right there for ball number 1. 1-2 count. So that's just going to hit Vanderwalt. A tough sight to see right there as you had him at 2 strikes, and I think he tried to do a little off speed, just trying to creep in. Just didn't break right there, and that's just going to hit Vanderwalt. He's going to advance to first.
First hit batsman of the game for either team, and Vanderwalt's line is very interesting. He's bounced into a 6-4-3 double play in the first, reached on that interference in the second, then he walked in the fourth and gets hit in the sixth. He's had an adventure at the plate, but he's getting on.
So that's going to be a swing and a miss for Malish. 0-1 count for him.
Malish so far 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored. Also a stolen base.
Another swing and a miss for Malish. Well, let's see if Kotz can in this pretty good inning he's had so far, besides the hit by pitch.
Yeah, he got Malish again out in front of it.
Malish looks close on that outside pitch, but going to be called a ball. 1-2. Malish just looking to avoid his second strikeout of the night. 1-2. That's going to be a little low. Good framing right there from Felix, but didn't help his case. His count goes 2-2.
Still, both those last pitches were close enough that a lot of batters would have taken a chance on them.
Yep. 2-2 count. Kotz gets Malish to swing and miss. So that's going to end the inning. So great inning right there from Kotz. Great bounce back.
Towards his second and third strikeouts of the evening, and you don't get the 1-2-3 inning, but you put a goose egg up there for the Islanders, which is only the second time tonight.
Yeah. Compared to the Rebels' fourth. As we take a quick break, as we head to the bottom of the sixth, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to the bottom of the 6th inning as Chamberlain's still out there for the Islanders. As we're going to have Lewis, our catcher, leading off. He's 0 for 5 on the season, but obviously point streak isn't always 100%. So we'll see what Lewis can do against Chamberlain, who's been honestly amazing so far. With only giving up 2 runs off that 2-run bomb. We can see what the Rebels have in store this inning. Hasn't been much. 4 goose eggs in a row since the first inning. So that's going to be a low breaking ball.
They just have struggled to string the hits together. As a matter of fact, they don't have a multiple hit inning. They've scattered those 4 hits over 4 different innings.
1-0 count. Lewis hits that nicely over the first baseman, but that's going to be foul. 1-1 count.
Got it right off the end of the bat there for a moment. You thought it might sneak down the right field line, just couldn't.
Hit right over Irway. Irway, yeah, we thought it was going to be in play when Irway jumped in play, but then it kind of just took off right. 1-1 count for Lewis. So Lewis just going to look at a nice breaking pitch. Creeped in there for strike number 2.
Lewis, one of 4 catchers on the roster for the Rebels. He's from Grove, Utah, going to Chandler Gilbert Community College. Long ways from home this summer.
And he's going to look at, he thought about swinging, but it was like a half-hearted swing, but just looked at strike number 3 right down the middle.
Well, that was a great, again, breaking pitch from Chamberlain. That's strikeout number 9. He's kept the Sluggin Rebels off balance for the good part of the evening. And that was another example right there.
Benji Cazares is DH, hitting 5th. That's an inside pitch for Benji. 1-0 count.
Cazares with a strikeout, and he's also flown to right, so officially 0 for 2.
One out. If that ball's chopped towards you, Airway. That one's hit foul. Very close, right on the base path.
Just over the bag, or just not quite over the bag. They're in foul territory down the first baseline when Airway fielded it clearly a few inches foul.
1-1 count. 1 out. Looks at high, ball number 2, 2-1. This is like the meat. This is the great, it's the 4, 5, 6 hitters right now for the Rebels, and we'll see what this produces. That's going to be a swing and strike for Benji.
They swung right over top of that again. It looked like that hard slider from Chamberlain. He's got that slider. He's almost got a slurve. He's also got the one almost a curveball that he can just play so nicely. He's come inside with that. There, he did it again.
Yeah, that's going to strike out Cazares. Cazares takes off his helmet in frustration. I mean, Rebels just can't figure out Chamberlain.
I'm impressed with this young man. He's pitching very, very well tonight. Again, he's given up 3 extra base hits, but he hasn't allowed, as we mentioned, more than 1 hit in an inning. And when you can't string hits together and you're not getting walks or anything like that, it's tough to score very many runs.
Dominic Felix is now up to the plate as he just looks at strike number 1.
Felix has actually the 1 non-extra base hit. He's 1 for 2 at a second inning single.
Felix is out of Tucson, Arizona. 6 foot, 205 from the University of New Mexico. He's a freshman. We have a lot of freshmen on this roster. 1-1 count as he crushes that one towards center field, and just won't be enough right at the warning track, and that'll end the inning for the Rebels. As we head to the top of the 7th, score is still 9-2. And we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. And welcome back to the top of the 7th. As the Sluggin Rebels just look to keep those goose eggs going. We got one right now, 2 total for the Islanders. As Russell, and Russell looked at strike number 1, but now we're waiting for. Is it from the phone? Sorry, I'm trying to help our box score.
It's actually Logan Irway leading off the inning.
Yeah, Irway, sorry. I thought that I read that as 31.
So we're having a little trouble there. The music wouldn't.
Music was playing, so we had to stop play, but it's going to be 0-1 count for Irway. Ball gets away for a 1-1 count now. Just missed the outside edge right there. 2-1 for Kotz.
Kotz has done a good job in relief, has so far allowed just the 1 run.
Got 3 strikeouts. That ball's fouled away. So he's the lead strikeout pitcher right now. As Avila got 2 and Gillig only had 1. So 2-2 count right now for Irway. That's just a pitch that gets away once again. 3-2. Full count.
And Kotz has missed in that location with that same pitch several times this evening, having trouble locating that.
Just can't pull it down, as that's going to be a fastball right to him, and going to be a big swing and a miss.
So why not challenge him with the fastball a little up in the zone to get the swing and the miss and his 4th strikeout.
Of course, that strikeout is sponsored by Mark Fox, your local GP Winegate realtor. So now we got Noah Friend up to the plate. Bottom of the order. So that was another slider that just gets away. 1-0.
Friend 1 for 2 with a walk and a single. And a pair of runs scored.
Nice swing and a miss right there. 1-1 the count. It's going to be foul tipped. Almost a swing and a miss, but nicked the bat. So now it's going to be 1-2. So that ball's nicely hit in between Lopez and Bryant. That's going to be a single for Friend right there.
That was a nice piece of hitting by Nolan Friend. Pitch on the outer part of the plate, just went with it. And placed it perfectly there in the first second base hole into right field for his second hit of the ball game.
So now we're at the top of the order. That ball just gets away. Once again, 1-0 count.
Neal, a couple of walks and a double. He's 1 for 2. And has been, again, on base 3 times and scored once.
Neal's hitting .667 on the season. One and one the count. 1 out, runner at first. Kotz delivers a nice breaking pitch, just nestled right in there for strike number 2.
Neal looked like he was looking for something else there. That did froze him nicely.
1-2 count. Check back at first. Neal chops that one towards shortstop. They'll try and get a double play, but Lopez will stop before making an unnecessary throw, as that's going to be out number 2.
That was a nice job there by Albert and Lopez, just to make sure, get the lead runner and make sure that you get that second out of the inning, and just don't try to get in a hurry and get something that on something hit that slowly, you're not going to get a double play.
That's the number one thing me and Carv were talking about too, is just silly errors, you know. Like right here, these checkbacks at first when 2 outs are there, we're just, you know, as a coach, you're just going to tell him, focus on the hitter. I mean, unless he's obviously,
if he's
halfway
10 feet away from the bag, then you want to throw over, of course.
There's certain things, but, you know, this big a lead, you know, you can just focus on the hitter right there. That's going to be a swing and a miss.
Wallachek. Yeah, he's 0 for 2. A couple of walks, a couple of runs scored. Also has an RBI ground out.
Wallachek hitting .290 today. That's just going to be a chopper towards Albert, and now in the inning right there. Kotz is doing really well so far for the Rebels as the second reliever. But as we head towards the 7th inning stretch, we'd like to read out all of our sponsors real quick. So we'll give a big thank you to the Colonel Tim Mahler family, Pizza of Newton, Midway Motors, Bethel College, the John Oldham family, the Sand Creek Summer Days Festival here in Newton, Central National Bank, the Carl Hodges family, Ray Roofing, Charleston Insurance Company, Realty Connections, Mark Fox, your local JP Wingate Realtor, CRM Lawn Care, Curtis C's Diner, Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, and Bumper to Bumper of Newton. It's not too late to join our 2023 sponsorship team. Please see our GM Mark Crivello or email Newton Rebels BB at yahoo.com for more information. And we'd also like to give a special thank you to all of our host families in Newton and Wichita for opening up their homes and hearts to these college baseball players for the summer. And it's, you know, sometimes a team won't be a team without any host families, and we greatly appreciate that. And with that, we'll head to the bottom of the 7th, as the 7th inning stretch is being played at Klein Scott Field, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to the bottom of the 7th, as Easton Bryant's just going to lead off with a swing and a miss for strike number 1. Chamberlain still out. Bottom of the 7th. Scott was thinking he would probably get pulled around the 4th, but seems like it's a 9-2 game, so we'll probably see maybe a CG or maybe all the way up until the bottom of the 9th as Bryant just chops out one towards Cruz, and Cruz makes the play right there.
Well, he made a nice play there. He was charging in, knew it was slowly hit, made that exchange really quickly to get Bryant just by a step. And Easton Bryant, unfortunately tonight, makes him 0 for 3.
Alford is up to the plate. Alford's been doing pretty good job at a shortstop today. So he's made some crucial outs. So he looks at ball number 1.
So far 0 for 1 at the plate, had a second inning, a walk.
That's going to be another low ball for Chamberlain. 2-0 count. Chamberlain still only 2 walks. And can't say the same for the Rebels, as Rebels have 9 walks of their own. And that's a nice pitch right there, but
Boy, didn't get the call, did he?
Yeah, going to be called. Ball number 3, so 3-0 count for Albert. Nice to potentially see him on base with Will Franklin up next. So he just looks at strike number 1.
Taking all the way there.
Yeah, 3-0 count. You're not really going to swing at it. That's just, unwritten rule of baseball at this point. 3-1. Alfred would take a chop at that one, but it'll be fouled back towards the cars.
Well, that last monstrous foul ball sponsored tonight by Central National Bank of Newton. Money for life. Member FDIC.
Full count now for Albert. This almost hit him. And he'll gladly take that walk. So we got a runner on first for the Rebels with Will Franklin, the 9-hole, up to the plate.
So Alfred with 2 of the 3 walks tonight for the Rebels. That was Chamberlain's first walk issued since the 2nd.
Yep, 3 walks for Chamberlain so far. Still, looks, hasn't lost any steam so far. 1 out, right on first, and Franklin would look at strike number 1. That's the thing you see about the Rebels. They don't really swing at those low strikes. They're pretty patient on those low balls.
Yeah, Franklin, he had that double, the deep center field to the warning track that came back in the 5th inning.
0-1 as Franklin swings at that one, fouls it off. 0-2. Rebels only having 4 hits compared to the Islanders' 6. But the score is still a 7-run deficit. Franklin. Just a nice pitch right there. That is a 1-2-3 strikeout at bat right there for Chamberlain as he threw that nice off speed.
That's nasty. I don't know if that's a curveball combination pitch there. He just
freezes him up right down the middle.
That thing drops a foot and a half when it comes in right into the strike zone. And that's strikeout number 11 for Chamberlain.
So now we're at the top of the order. Taylor, Titan Gable. So he looks at ball number 1. 2 outs, runner at first.
Gable on base once tonight, walked and was on base in the 1st inning when Myers hit that 2-run homer, which made it, at that point, a 1-run game, and Rebels have not scored since then.
92 pitches for Chamberlain out here. So that's going to be a high ball. I think it's pretty confident to say now it's probably This is probably maybe his last inning before they relieve someone. We can't see over in the bullpen because of these gosh darn trees over here, so can't see if anyone's warming up, but I don't know, 93 pitches, bottom of the 7th. Might be time. So that's going to be ball number 3 for Chamberlain.
And velocity's still good. It looks like maybe you're seeing a little bit of the control starting to elude him here in the inning with the 1 walk now down 3-0 on Gable.
As I do see some movement in the well, I don't know if that's a player. That just looks like a coach maybe, but might be warming up somebody. 3-0 count for Gable, and that's going to be a walk. So runners now in second and first with Jordy Lopez up to the plate.
The second baseman, number 6.
Jordy's very speedy here, but yep, we're going to have a mound visit. And this might be the it for Chamberlain.
It's a pretty quick hop up there by their coach after that second walk. Maybe see if they get out of the inning. I don't think so. So
we will see. Yep, and we'll see a new pitcher coming out. We'll get that info for you. We'll take a quick break actually, and we'll come back with all the new pitchers information, everything like that. But final stat line for Chamberlain: 6.2 innings pitched. Only gave up 4 hits. 2 runs, 2 earned runs off of that 2-run bomb from Myers. Only gave up 4 walks. Had 11 strikeouts and 28 batters faced. It's a great outing right there from Chamberlain, but that'll be it for him. And we'll take a quick break and get you right back with all the information as we'll be right back. Welcome back to the bottom of the 7th inning. Has this new pitcher out for the Kingman Islanders is going to be Landon Helm. He is he's listed as a position player, but we're pretty confident that's him. So he's out of Neosho. He's from Mays, Kansas. He's a freshman. So that's going to be an inside strike for Jordy Lopez right there.
Lopez 1 for 3, had that leadoff triple in the 3rd and got stranded there. Really showed his wheels on that play.
1-1 count now for Jordy Lopez.
At least from what we have, it looks like this could be Helm's first appearance on the mound this year. Again, not all the games have been synced in yet.
The ball gets away, 2-1 count. Another pitch that gets away. 3-1 count for Helms, and Lopez is looking to, at least get on base or advance the runners. 3-1 count. And he just looks at high, ball number 4. Bases are now loaded for Cole Myers, as Myers is going to be the early candidate for the Bethel College Player of the Game with that 2-run shot. And grand slam here would really solidify.
Bases loaded all via the walks, and there was only a total of 2 coming into the inning, and now 5 total.
See what Myers has in store. 1-0 count.
And since that first inning 2-run homer, Myers has struck out and flown to center field.
So that ball's popped up towards right field, and
nice catch.
Cruz will make the play right there at second. And now in the inning, as bases were loaded. Just tough to see right there. Get no runs on that one. But we'll head to the top of the 8th inning. As score still 9-2. Rebels still have four hits and that 1 error that caused us 2 runs. And with that, we'll head to the top of the 8th, and Scott will take over as play-by-play. And we'll be right back.
Top of the 8th inning, we're going to see our 4th Rebels pitcher as Mason Lee will take over for Camden Kotz. Kotz, a nice job in relief, ended up going 3 innings, surrendering just the 1 run, and that came on 3 hits. He struck out 4, didn't walk anybody. And again, our call to the bullpen brought to you by Pizza Hut of Newton. No one out pizzas the Hut. So Mason Lee, and the stats we have in the 2 games he had pitched, he threw 3 innings, had given up just a couple of hits, 1 run. It was an earned run. Didn't strike out anybody, didn't walk anybody. So again, he'll come on in a good. Camden Kotz, a nice job in relief to try to keep the Rebels close, as now it'll be Gavin Roy, Blake Russell, Jesus Cruz coming up for the Islanders. And a nice breaking pitch in there. Strike 1 to Gavin Roy, who's had a single, a homer, and a bases loaded walk. So he's driven in 3 and scored 3. And he'll take strike 2 and quickly down in the count. 2 strikes. So it's the heart of the lineup here for the Islanders. Again, they are in search of their first league victory. Their 1 win coming in was a non-league victory over, of all teams, the Batcats, who are currently tied overall for first, as Roy took one just off the outer part of the plate for ball 1. Beautiful night here in Newton. Good crowd, and that one right back to Lee. What a snag. And an easy toss to first for out number 1.
What a play by Lee right there. That ball was smoked towards him.
I tell you what, you talk about a pitcher always has to be ready, and you can take it for granted, but boy, after every pitch, you got to be expecting one right back at you. And that time,
that reaction, that's the thing I find impressive too about pitchers is their reaction time to those hits are impressive. Either they get away or they make the play.
and sometimes it's just self-defense out there to just try to knock it down if you can.
Yeah, the fight or flight.
So the DH, Blake Russell, 0 for 3 at an RBI walk back in the second. Good tailing back over the plate fastball, strike one to Russell.
It seems like we might have a changing up either the sequence, or maybe they're just not on the right foot right now. But still looking nice for Mason Lee, as this is going to be early mound visit, probably just changing up stuff.
Or again, as we mentioned early on, maybe that wasn't the pitch Lewis was expecting coming in. Just wanted to make sure that they've got the signal straight again. The kids have just been together here really for about 2.5, 3 weeks so far. Nice. And hard breaking pitch fouled out of play.
0-2 count.
Again, the Rebels, after tonight, they're going to play at the Islanders tomorrow night, and then they'll be back home on a Saturday as another one fouled back to wrap up the 3-game set with the Islanders. And they'll get a day off on a Sunday. At least right now, we haven't heard a rescheduled date for that last game of the Batcats as of yet. So,
That's a big swing and a miss, but it's going to be a...
He didn't get a piece of that. Apparently not. It was not signaled a dead ball, so you're going to see that weird scoring thing in baseball. You're going to get the strikeout, but not the out. So Mason Lee records his first. I thought for a minute he got a piece of it, but probably would go down. I think it hit maybe right off the plate, probably as a wild pitch. And a runner for the Islanders brings up Jesus Cruz. And will step in and take strike one. Cruz has been on base twice, reached on an error in the first, RBI walk in the second. Since then, he's grounded back to the pitcher and to first. And a
quick check back, yeah.
Boy, odd-looking play. Bryant was a little bit off the bag and kind of had a back swipe at the runner and almost got him. And
nice
a low fastball,
right
right at the knees.
I got some Mason Lee stats from Campbellsville University.
Campbellsville.
Yeah. He has a this season he had 3.56 ERA in 30 innings.
His changeup just missed there to Cruz for ball one.
His max innings played was 4.
I believe Campbellsville in the NAIA, aren't they?
Yep. He pitched 4 innings, and Lee almost made a nice behind-the-back play right there as Lopez is there to kind of stop the ball from going up the middle. But, yeah, he pitched 4 innings against Texas A&M.
Corpus Christi?
No, not Corpus Christi. Texarkana, I think.
Texarkana.
He had 5 strikeouts in an 8-2 victory. Wow.
Well, that last one, I was right off the end of the bat, will go down as an infield, a single for Jesus Cruz. The runners are at first and second, so back to the breaking pitch, strike one to Vanderwalt. Vanderwalt has had quite the adventure at the plate this evening. And he reaches out and pops one up right side. That'll be the infield fly rule. Batter would have been automatically out as the first baseman, Bryant, makes the catch for out number 2. And Vanderwalt was involved in the interference. He was hit by a pitch. He's walked and having a great evening at the plate. And now with the runners at first and second and 2 down is Aiden Malish. On the evening, 1 for 4 with a second inning single. And again, a breaking pitch in for strike one. The pitchers for Newton have had a great time against Malish with the off speed. They've had him out in front an awful lot tonight. Fastball at the knee, strike 2. His single came on the first pitch he saw, which was a fastball back in the second. And then they've kept him off balance nicely since then.
Malice has 2 strikeouts on the night, 4 appearances. Or sorry, 4. Sorry.
And there, did he get a piece of it? And
they're gonna call foul.
A real indistinct foul call there, kind of late. I thought he might have the strikeout. They're gonna see, but again, way out in front of that breaking pitch. I don't think that Lee's gonna throw him a fastball anytime soon with 2 strikes, unless he gets in a situation he's got to throw one. And that, it was a strikeout. Now they'll throw down the first 2, record it. And Lee will work himself out of a little bit of a jam here in the 8th. No runs on a 1 hit, and there were 2 left as Lee able to record a pair of strikeouts in the inning, and we head down to the home half of the 8th. It remains 9-2 Islanders leading the Newton Rebels.
And this 8th inning is sponsored by. Sorry, I can't read. It's going to be sponsored by Charleston Insurance Company Incorporated. Visit www.charlestoninsurance.com for your home, auto, and other insurance needs. And with that, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Home half of the 8th inning, the Rebels going to have to get busy here. They trail at 9-2, and they'll have the 4, 5, and 6 hitters coming up. It'll be Tate Lewis, Benji Cazares, and Dominique Felix. And Landon Helm on for his first full inning of work. This is down and away, ball 1. Jackson Haynes got the start at the catching position. Lewis came in, and his first at-bat came in the 6th inning. He went down on strikes. He hits this one high in the air, shallow right field. And coming in, it'll be Malish, the right fielder, to make the catch for out number 1, which will bring up Benji Cazares, the DH, who is 0 for 3.
Got 2 strikeouts, and this is just not the game you want to see from the Rebels right now, and especially against a team that, record-wise, we're supposed to beat. And it's just
doesn't look like a 1-win team they're playing tonight.
Now with Chamberlain on the mound.
Yeah, Chamberlain again went 6 2/3, and kind of waiting. Cazares, all he could do is foul that one back, cut out on that front foot. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. And you like the idea that, 3 of the 4 hits are extra bases, and there's the second single. That time, Cazares able to drive it into left center field for his first hit of the ball game.
5 hits right now for the Rebels.
They basically have hit for the cycle.
Yeah.
I mean, they have they've got the double, the triple, and the home run. And that'll bring to the plate Dominique Felix.
That Cazares base hit was sponsored by Arma Coatings of Wichita Incorporated. We have you covered.
Felix has a hit that came back in the second, a single. Since then he has struck out and flown to center. See if the Rebels can string some hits together as the breaking pitch in there. 1 ball, 1 strike. And outside for ball 2. You mentioned Helm going to Neosho County. I believe Hunter Alvord's high school teammate Jarrett Myers also going out to Neosho County. He's going to be a pitcher out there. As there's a swing and a miss from Felix. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. What a great group of kids they had over at Mac High. Again, back-to-back 4A state champions. Had the pleasure of calling a lot of their games this year. And the 2-2 fooled him. Went back with an off-speed. And that'll be strikeout number 1 for Landon Helm, out number 2 of the bottom half of the 8th.
That's 12 total strikeouts for Kingman compared to the Rebels 9 through between four pitchers. We have the same. It's the same. We have the same amount of walks as we do strikeouts. So 9 walks is just not cutting it right now.
You don't want to have a 1-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. I do know that. As the breaking pitch in there, strike 1. Bryant in search of his first hit of the ball game. That one down in the dirt for ball 1. Bryant striking out in the second. He flew to right in the 4th, bounced to second. That came in the 7th.
The only person on the Rebels to not strike out as that ball's fouled left field. Only person not to strike out is Gable and Alford.
And the count is 1-2 on Easton Bryant. 2 down, runner at first. And he'll get out of the way there. It's inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, Bryant reaches, it would then be Hunter Alvord. And there's a swing and a miss. Bryant, you could tell himself frustrated with that one as the strikeout will end the inning. No runs, 1 hit and 1 left. So we're going to head on to our final inning this evening. It's a 9-2 lead for the Islanders.
And with that, we just got the word that Cole Myers is going to be our Bethel College Player of the Game. Win or lose, we still have a Player of the Game, and we'll have a post-game interview with him. Cole Myers it's really only one play so far for the Rebels that were noteworthy, and it was Myers' 2-run shot.
Yeah, made it 3-2 after the first, so it looked like that was going to be a huge hit, and unfortunately for the Rebels, goose eggs since that point. Again, they haven't been able to get in any inning tonight more than 1 hit. And again, with Wade Chamberlain ended up with 4 walks, but 3 of those were in the 7th. So that was kind of actually 2 of his 4 came in the 7th. So he just didn't give you opportunities. If you weren't going to get base hits tonight against Miles Chamberlain, you just weren't going to get runners on base. So right now, due up for the Islanders, the 8, 9, and 1 spots in the order. Logan Irway. Okay, this is not Irway. We'll get you the name with that. It's a pinch hitter for Kingman.
Number 25.
And I'll scan through.
A 1 count. As number 25 just smokes that one towards Gable. That'll be out number 1. Well, we couldn't get his information before he was out.
I'm still trying to find number 25. It was Brendan Macbeth. There, I got it. It's not a numerical roster that we have, so it takes a little bit. So Macbeth flies out to a center for out number 1 against Mason Lee. And it brings up Nolan Friend. He'll lay off a high fastball for ball 1. Friend is 2 for 3, a pair of singles and a walk with a couple of runs scored. He's had a nice ball game batting in the number 9 spot. And he'll take strike 1. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. And then Bradley Neal is due up next. And that
nice
time,
pitch right there.
Yeah, I got him to really chase that one. And it's 1-2. And almost got him to go after it again. They want to appeal down the first.
And he did not. Nope.
No, he did not. That's a pretty nasty breaking pitch there from Mason Lee, and he about had him 2 in a row. But the count instead goes to 2-2. And there he froze him that time. Pretty pitch from Mason Lee, and his 3rd strikeout. And out number 2. And weather may be changing a little bit out there as you look out to the flag in center field, and it's just flipped around to the north. Or maybe the northwest.
You can see all the dust just flying towards that's Franklin out there in right field.
It must have some kind of a
thunderstorms brewing or something.
Weather system of some sort, at least a wind shift line close to us. As Neal takes strike 1. He's got a double and a couple of walks tonight.
I can already smell it. If you're from Kansas, you can smell a thunderstorm, and it's smelling like a pretty bad thunderstorm's coming soon. So.
Well, and a swing and a miss there from Neal. So Lee's looking for a 1-2-3 inning, which I think would be the first of the game in the field for the Rebels. And he may have just got it, a swing and a miss. And Lewis throws down, and it will be a 1-2-3 inning for the Rebels in the field. And a nice job in relief tonight from Mason Lee to retire the Islanders in order. And the last chance will be coming up with the Rebels trailing 9-2 heading into the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for Newton. First pitch swinging. This one driven high in the air to right field. Malish out there to retire Hunter Alvord. 1 pitch and 1 out. As, again, that big wind shift has changed around. We're trying to pull up the radar here and take a look. And there is rain right on our doorstep and a ton of it off to our southwest coming this way. We may be getting this just in time. As Will Franklin steps in, takes inside for ball 1.
Yeah, we don't want to get trapped in here, so I Bethel College play of the game is going to be a quick and short interview, I'd say.
Long running off the glove of Bradley Neal. It'll drop in, and Franklin will stop at second, which I think going to have to probably 50-50. Is that an error or is that a hit? I hear an emphatic, that's a hit from down there. We'll go with it for Will Franklin. That's his 2nd double of the ball game.
And with that, that super double was sponsored by Midway Motors of Newton, your Chevrolet, GMC, and Buick dealer for every mile of life. And yep, Scott's showing me the radar. It's looking a
little dicey. And a nice opposite field single. Titan Gable slices it into left center field. Stopping at 3rd is Will Franklin.
So now we have 7 hits for the Rebels.
And the first inning of the ball game, more than 1 hit for the Rebels. And that is the first for Gable to go with a pair of walks.
That base hit was sponsored by Arma Coatings of Wichita.
And brings to the play Jordy Lopez. He's got a walk and a triple this evening. Takes low for ball 1. And the Rebels with 1 down, they need a bunch. They're down 7. This one pulled. It's going to be foul down the right field line as Lopez was looking for the second time tonight to put one down into the right field corner. Just a little bit too far out in front of that pitch.
Excited to see what Lopez can do here.
Lays off the high fastball for ball 2. So 2-1 the count. Runners at the corners, 1 down. Bottom of the 9th. Rebels trying to rally now. It's 3-1. And Cole Myers waiting in the on-deck circle. Of course, much different conditions, of course, than when he homered way back in the first. The wind's actually blowing the center now, the way it looks. And a strike at the knees to Lopez. It's going to run the count full.
In center field, we had a flag up there, probably around like top of the 6th.
Ground ball with the runner moving from first, and a throw not in time.
Safe.
And taking third on the play will be Titan Gable.
Great awareness right there from Gable. But I was saying, we had a flag up in center field, probably top of the 6th, and then now that there's a chance of a thunderstorm, they immediately took it down.
Yeah. And I think Lopez digging there. He outran the pitcher there. Infield RBI single. Makes it 9-3, and now Cole Myers 1 for 4. Steps in and takes a little bit high, ball 1. And he's 1 for 4 with that first inning 2-run homer. And outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. So it's 3 straight hits in the inning after Franklin doubles, Gable and Lopez both single. And a little chopper back to the mound. You'll have to hold the runner at third. Actually,
and what was...
I'm trying to decide what
was that?
Gable was doing. He just slowly trots home.
Huh.
And you're going to go 1-3-2 double play to end the ball game. I think that Gable thought there was 2 outs. That's the only thing I can think of there, as that he thought there was 2 outs, because he certainly would have stayed at third. It looked like what he was going to do, and then all of a sudden he just kind of trots home. So that will conclude the ball game. The Rebels able to add a run on 3 hits in the inning and strand 1. So your final score tonight, 9-3. The Islanders pick up their second win on the season, move to 2-7 and 1-7 in league play, and the Rebels now 3-5, 1-5 in league play.
And with that, that'll be the end of your ball game. But don't go away. We still have the Bethel College Player of the Game coming up, and that's going to be Cole Myers. And we'll have him come up here and talk about the game a little bit. And that'll do it for us. But we'll take a quick break, get Myers up here, everything all situated, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to our Newton Rebel post-game show. The Rebels fall tonight 9-3, and we're going to move on to our player of the game tonight, which is Cole Myers. Cole, congratulations being player of the game. Going ahead and give you the Sonic gift card to start things off. But let's talk about the game just a little bit, and we'll talk a little bit more about you. You made things a lot of fun there early on. Tell us about that at-bat there in the first inning. You homer on a 3-2 pitch, and at that time makes it a 3-2 ball game.
So that at bat pretty much, unless it's a 2-strike count, I'm looking for a pitch I can do that exact thing on. So, I mean, I got down early 0-2, and then, from there on out, it's just a battle, winning pitches, getting to full count, trying to get on base. And then that just happened to be the result.
Did you know it when it left the bat? It looked like it.
I mean, maybe. I don't think I have that much pop, though, especially with Wood. So.
Yeah, well, I think the left fielder certainly knew it. He stopped running pretty soon, and I didn't even see where it came down. It was way out of there. Well, you are. Let me get onto the right page. You're out of Cedar Point, Texas, going to Tarleton. Cedar Point.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, and it's going to Tarleton University. Going to be a junior. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I mean, just shout out to all the JUCO dogs. Started off JUCO. First year went to Clarendon Junior College up near Amarillo, and then followed my head coach from junior college to Vernon College, kind of more central Texas, which was good to be closer to home. And then I was lucky enough to be able to play at a D1 university in Texas, which is where I really want to be right now. I love that place. It's a great place. Super excited for it.
Now, is that what has been referred to as Tarleton State? Is it just now Tarleton?
No, it's still Tarleton State University. I don't know why they missed that.
Well, tell us about now Cedar Point, Center Point, excuse me, where you grew up.
I went to Tybee High School, which is in Kerrville, Texas. I grew up in Center Point, Texas, probably 20 minutes outside of Kerrville on a little ranch. Grew up. My dad was a coach, baseball, football heavy. Always been around it since I was little, and that's what I love to do. So shout out to my dad and my family, and love y'all.
Now, did you play football as well in high school?
I did, all the way till senior year.
Now we hear here in Kansas that they're a little crazy about their football down in Texas, especially at the high school. Is it made up? Is that made up, or is that for real?
No, that's for real. Yeah, everyone. It's a super huge thing back in Texas for sure.
Yeah, here's some of these high school facilities are more insane. Like D2 or D1 facilities.
Once you get to like 5A, 4 to 6A, it's insane. Some of the facilities you see. So.
And how much of an emphasis did your high school? Was the baseball pretty big as well?
Yeah. So it was mainly football, baseball at our high school, but probably football heavy for sure. Every Friday night, everyone out in the town comes to the stadium. So I mean, I'm sure they all love more football than baseball. But
well, tell us about the connection here to come play for the Rebels, and how's the chemistry going so far? Guys come from all over the country. It takes a little bit to build that chemistry. How's that feel like that's going so far?
So I would say it's going pretty good right now. I mean, I got here probably 5 days ago now, so we're still working on some things. No one has any issues with anyone. We're getting along well. For me, this is the most exciting time for baseball because you just come up here, summer, everyone, or all the guys that you play with, they're just same goal in common, just to work, get better. And I believe this is where you make your best friendships in baseball.
All right. Well, congratulations on being the player of the game. Hey, go out and spend that gift card tonight, and hopefully next time we'll get to interview you after a big dub.
Yes, sir, for sure.
Thanks a bunch. And that's Cole Myers. He's our player of the game tonight for the Rebels, as the Rebels again fall 9-3. Again, just a couple quick numbers before we let you go. 9 runs, 7 hits, no errors, 10 left for the Islanders. 3 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, 9 left for the Rebels. Rebels combined 4 pitchers. I tell you, the bullpen really nice tonight. Camden, Kotz, and Mason Lee combined for 5 innings and they allowed just 1 run on 4 hits, so well done by the bullpen tonight. And Miles Chamberlain, really tough on the Rebels tonight, when in 6 2/3 gave up just 2 runs on 4 hits while striking out 11. So the next action due up for the Newton Rebels will be tomorrow night, scheduled at the Kingman Islanders for a 7 o'clock start, and then scheduled back here on Saturday at 7 o'clock to finish out the 3-game set with the Kingman Islanders. So again, the Rebels fall tonight to 9-3 to the Kingman Islanders. As the Sluggin Rebels would like to take a minute to thank the 2023 season partners and sponsors. Without their support, college baseball would not be here in Newton. Thank you to the Colonel Tim Marler family, Pizza Hut of Newton, Midway Motors, Bethel College, John Oldham family, Sand Creek Summer Days Festival, Central National Bank, the Carl Hodges family, Ray Roofing, Charleston Insurance Company, Realty Connections, Mark Fox, your local J.P. Wygan Realtor, CRM Lawn Care, Curtis C's Diner, Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, and Bumper to Bumper of Newton. It's not too late to join our 2023 sponsorship team. Please see our GM Mark Carvalho or email newtonrebelsbb@yahoo.com for more information. And again, a special thank you to all our host families in Newton and in Wichita for opening their homes and hearts to these college baseball players for the summer. Tonight's game has been a production of Sluggin Rebels Baseball. On behalf of the entire Sluggin Rebels staff, we thank you for watching tonight's game and invite you back here on Saturday night, June 17th, when your Sluggin Rebels take on these same Kingman Islanders. Game time is 7 o'clock. Thank you, and good night from Newton, Kansas, and God bless.